Hi, I'm Angela Druckman, an Agile coach and trainer with CollabNet, and welcome to our Agile Tips series. What should you do if your teams continually miss their commitments? That's a question I get all the time in my classes, and it is a serious problem. Interestingly, though, the answer to this problem might not be what you think it is. Sometimes people naturally think, well, my teams are terrible at estimating, or maybe they just don't take commitments seriously. That might be true, but there are some other things I suggest you investigate first. By far, the most common reason for a team continually missing commitments is they're being pushed into deliver, or at least promising to deliver, more things than they really can. And often where this will happen is when the product owner comes in with strong expectations about how much the team should commit to. Sometimes the product owner doesn't mean to influence the team this way. He might say something like, wow team, I'm really hoping I could get 7 or 8 stories this sprint that you would commit to. But unfortunately, especially with a novice team, when they hear that, sometimes they hear, wow, we have to commit to 7 or 8 stories. If that isn't a reasonable amount of work, then of course they're going to fail. So the first place you want to look to help teams that continually miss commitments is, are they feeling like they're being pushed into committing to more than they really can deliver? The other place you might want to look is the team doing a good job getting acceptance criteria on every user story? If you'll remember, acceptance criteria is that agreement between the team and product owner about what functionality needs to be included in a story to call it done. So if the team isn't taking the time to get detailed acceptance criteria, in other words, they're kind of making assumptions about what the product owner wants, that can lead to problems later on when it turns out that the product owner really wanted something else. When that happens, stories have a way of ending up being much bigger than the team really thought they were to begin with. And then finally, one thing you should always encourage your teams to do is to look into the past to see what they've been able to do before they make commitments for the next sprint. Most of you know in Scrum we have a little pet name for that. We call it yesterday's weather. That comes from the old adage, given no other information, the best predictor of today's weather is yesterday's weather. Well, given no other information, the best predictor of what the team can do in the second sprint is what they did in the first sprint. So for example, in the first sprint, if they committed to 50 story points worth of work, but they only delivered 20, then what do you think they should commit to in the second sprint? That's right, about 20. Sometimes teams get into this mindset of wishful thinking. Well, something bad happened last sprint, but it won't happen this sprint. Still, it's better for them to rely on techniques like yesterday's weather, what they've delivered in the past to make commitments for the future. Those will be the ones they'll be most likely to be able to meet. We hope you enjoyed this Agile Tips. For more Agile Tips, please visit us at www.collab.net/AgileTips.